been a while since I used my actual face in footage for any of my videos. A few days ago, Genetically Modified Skeptic uploaded a video where he wrote a handful of letters to his younger fundamentalist self on things he thinks he would have liked to have heard, on the process of how he changed in his beliefs as he grew older. And I was particularly moved by the video. Even though this is not usually the type of content I do on here, he did ask at the end that anyone else interested make similar videos, and I decided this was the kind of thing that might help someone out there, so I decided I would make one for myself. So I've gotten 3 letters written for my younger self. I've got them down here off to the side of the screen. I'm going to read them in reverse chronological order. I just feel like it works a little better that way. A letter to myself near the end of high school. Charlie, right now in your life, you feel like your view of the universe has struck that balance it needs. One foot in the worldly side with its sciences and its arts, those mortal interests you do so love. The other foot in the divine, nuanced beliefs and philosophies, carefully studied in an attempt to clear up any doubts that come with the unknown of religion. And right now, you won't admit that there are doubts. You'd prefer to just consider them speculation in a God view that you still innately want to trust. But it's okay to admit that those are doubts. You are not a bad person for having doubts. And you are not a bad person for preferring the secular world. Despite what your upbringing kept telling you again and again, secular is not a bad word. The next couple of years will be rough. Internally, your lifelong struggle with depression and self-worth will come to a head. You will only have room for these doubts. Externally, you will watch your once beloved community fracture worse than you could ever have realized, aflame with hypocrisies and hatred that you will only just begin to realize had always been there. By the time you consciously realize it has happened, you don't have any foot on the divine side of the line anymore, and you haven't for some time. Rest easy in knowing it will be a peaceful realization when it hits. You will still hold several of the philosophies that you learned in your time with the church. Most central to your heart, John Wesley's "Do no harm" will continue to ring true, even as difficult as that one can be to always uphold. A letter to myself, just barely a teenager. Charlie, you have a very strong sense of compassion, but right now, you are letting it run misguided. You are so concerned with the eternal souls of those around you, you are missing some key details in the bigger picture. You are worried and anxious for these people because you do want what you think is best for them. People who believe differently than you. People who love differently than you. But you're not protecting anyone from eternal hellfire. Out of a misplaced sense of what's right, you're building a wall up. Connect with people. Empathy is one of your strongest tendencies. And someday, you're going to realize just how much overlap you have with these people that you're currently pushing away. You'll have a lot more in common than you realize. A letter to myself, 4th grade. Hey, little guy. Things haven't been too cheery, have they? I know things have started to feel exhausting all the time. Like all color is just gone from the world around you. It's not your fault. You've been hearing all your life that God is the only source of true happiness, that God can fill that hole deep inside you if only you open yourself enough, if you just work enough to let Him. You'll hear that again and again as you grow up, and you will pour all of your efforts, your heart, and your mind into trying. I know it feels like you're not enough. This is not your fault, though. I'm sorry, you'll have to figure this out on your own. When you feel like you're just not good enough, it's not true. You will survive, stronger than you can realize, even when life feels so suffocating for such a young guy. Keep your chin up. You don't believe in yourself now, but you are worthwhile, and things are going to be okay. As I have said in my other videos, my computer is currently kaput. It's destroyed. I can't really do anything about it. If you do want to help support this channel in replacing the computer so I can get back to the more in-depth stuff I like to do, I'm going to place a link in the description to a fundraiser. So far, you guys have been awesome. We've raised $205 as of the recording for it. And I really hope things continue so I can get back to making the things I love to provide for you guys. Stay safe out there.